Hello everyone, my name is Israel and welcome to Dribble It Out. Here we will engage in NBA news, post-game reactions, and sharing my thoughts with you, the great YouTube community. Please consider subscribing and sharing with others for great content. Now let's get started. Whether you're excited about the fourth installment between the Cavs and the Warriors, or you're woeful about it because you're like, here we go again. One thing is certain is that Game 1 was a thriller. And it was exciting. It was competitive. There was no blowouts or anything like that. The games were close, which is why we eventually got into overtime. And with that being said, we all know it was very controversial towards the end. And the last 2-minute report, whether you like it or not, demonstrated and they said that LeBron James did commit a blocking foul because he was still in motion while he was, blocking Kevin Durant. Now, there are many speculations on, well, the initial call was to see if he was in or outside the restricted area, which he was clearly outside the restricted area. But outside of all that, I'm just here to let you guys know that the last 2-minute report says it was the right call to call it a blocking foul. However, something that has not been discussed is that the last 2-minute report actually revealed that Draymond Green fouls LeBron James before passing the ball to George Hill, when there was 12 seconds left on the clock. Now, this can change the outcome of the game, because although George Hill is an 80% free throw shooter, which is higher than LeBron's free throw percentage, we can speculate that the game could have ended differently. But of course, this is all speculation. Outside of that, it was also reported that Draymond Green also committed a lane violation while George Hill was shooting the free throw. This would indicate that the second free throw, which is when the lane violation was committed, could have been redone because Draymond Green stepped out of the line ahead of George Hill releasing the shot. Now, they did say that it was a little hard to call in the middle of the action, but it was a lane violation that could have potentially equaled to George Hill actually hitting the second free throw attempt with only about 5 seconds left on the clock. This doesn't guarantee that the Cavs would have won, but it does change, possibly, the verdict. In another news, we have Klay Thompson, who has been described to be suffering from a significant bruise and left ankle sprain. So his left ankle sprain has been diagnosed. Steph Curry mentioned that he didn't participate in practice today during his post-practice interview. However, he did seem upbeat and encouraging, saying that he will play tomorrow regardless. Now, of course, it's not up to him. It's up to the doctors and all that. So I believe we will see a game time decision on Klay Thompson. He is getting round-the-clock treatment because he obviously wants to participate tomorrow. Now, is this something worth considering as something to worry about? I would say yes and no. Yes, because of course, Klay Thompson is part of the unit and the elite unit that the Warriors have. However, it is shown based on 178 minutes without Klay Thompson playing throughout the year, the Warriors still outscore their opponents by about 11 points per 100 possessions. So that means that even if he sits out and he doesn't play, there is a chance that they will still play pretty well without him. And the next thing I have for you guys is that Klay Thompson, if you guys remember the end of the game, after Livingston shot the ball with a few seconds remaining, he fouled him and he was ejected out of the game. Now, obviously, he's not happy about being ejected. And then you have Draymond Green being Draymond and hackling along. He got upset and he pushed Draymond Green. He pushed the ball towards his face. And obviously his hand scraped off and touched him in the face. And he was given a flagrant 2 foul for that, on top of the fact that he had already been ejected. And he was fined $25,000 for taking too long to leave the court. Apparently there is a time limit. And on top of that, because of the altercation with Draymond Green. However, the flagrant 2 foul was decreased down to a flagrant 1. But he still has to pay the fine based on the situation. So do expect him to be in the court tomorrow as well as with Draymond Green. So it'll be interesting to see how everything plays out since they will both still be on the court, and you can expect Draymond Green to continue with his well-known animosity. Thank you for your time. I really appreciate you watching. Please consider subscribing and sharing with others that might be in the same interest of the NBA. I do have 2 questions before you go, though, that I would like you to leave comments to see what you think. Do you like the last 2-minute report? Do you think it's a waste of time? Do you think it adds value, takes value away? It does show us that they made mistakes, or no, we didn't make a mistake. This was the right call. Please let me know. And about Draymond Green's animosity, do you like it? Do you not like it? Please let me know down below. I personally don't like the last 2-minute report, but at the same time I do. I do because I want to know, was I right in what I saw as the game went on? I thought it was a foul. Then they tell me, yes, it was a foul, so I was right. But at the same time I don't, because it's like, we got the call incorrect, but too bad. The outcome is still the outcome, especially with the last 2 minutes being a pivotal situation, even though everything that happens up to that point is important as well. About Draymond Green's animosity, I personally think it's funny, but I don't think it's sportsmanlike to be mocking somebody. He was over here dancing, pointing at Kendrick Perkins, who is obviously not suited to play. So I don't think it's sportsmanlike, but when I watch it outside of the moment of the game, he is pretty funny. But those are my thoughts. I appreciate your time again, and I'll see you in the next one.